I have walked a long road to freedom. Along that road I have faced many challenges, some large, some small, but never once did I believe that any difficulty would last forever. Life, my friends, is full of problems. We are all tested by hardships, by moments when our hopes seem distant, and when our efforts seem to yield little reward. But it is not the presence of problems that defines us. It is how we respond to them. Problems are not permanent. They are like the seasons passing, changing, giving way to new beginnings. Just as the harshness of winter makes way for the blossoms of spring, our troubles make way for new growth in our lives. I have learned that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Likewise, success is not the absence of problems, but the resilience to overcome them. Every obstacle we face is an opportunity to learn, to strengthen our resolve, and to build a future where hope outshines despair. Let us not be discouraged when life weighs heavily upon us. Let us remember that no night is so dark that it can prevent the dawn. No struggle is so great that it can silence the spirit of those who refuse to give up. In our hands lies the power to change our circumstances. In our hearts lies the strength to endure, and in our unity lies the force to turn today's hardships into tomorrow's triumphs. Let us march forward with the unshakable belief that no problem, no matter how daunting, is permanent. Life is a journey marked by moments of joy and sorrow, ease and struggle. Problems are an inevitable part of this journey. They arise in many forms: personal setbacks, societal challenges, economic hardships, or emotional pain. It is a common mistake to believe that when a problem arises, it marks a permanent state, a lasting defeat. Yet, experience teaches us otherwise. Problems, no matter how difficult or painful they may seem in the moment, are not permanent. They are temporary phases, like storms that eventually pass, leaving the sky clear and bright once again. Many people, when faced with adversity, feel overwhelmed and defeated. It is easy to fall into despair when it seems like the challenges have no end. But the truth is that every problem carries within it a seed of change, an invitation to transformation. No difficulty lasts forever. Just as the seasons change, so too do our circumstances. Winter may feel endless when the days are dark and cold, but spring always arrives, bringing renewal and life. In the same way, life's problems are seasons of our personal growth, not the final story. Understanding that problems are temporary can change the way we live. It gives us hope during the darkest times. It reminds us that our suffering is not the conclusion of our story, but only a chapter in a much greater narrative. This mindset builds resilience. It strengthens our spirit, teaching us patience and endurance. When we recognize that hardships are not permanent, we are less likely to give up. We find the strength to keep moving forward, even when the road is difficult. History shows us countless examples of individuals who faced enormous challenges but refused to be defined by them. They endured because they believed in the future. They understood that today's pain could lead to tomorrow's strength. Great leaders, pioneers, and ordinary people alike have risen above their circumstances because they saw problems not as permanent walls, but as temporary hurdles. Accepting that problems are fleeting also allows us to manage our emotions better. Fear, anger, and sadness can consume us when we think our struggles are endless. But when we trust that change is inevitable, we can find peace even in turmoil. We can focus on solutions rather than being paralyzed by the weight of our difficulties. This positive approach leads to clearer thinking, better decisions, and ultimately, quicker recovery from setbacks. In life, the only true permanence is change itself. Every problem carries the promise of an ending, just as every night carries the certainty of a new dawn. By embracing this truth, we empower ourselves to face life's challenges with courage, wisdom, and unwavering hope. Problems may visit us, but they do not have the power to stay unless we allow them, our spirit, our will, to endure, and our faith in tomorrow are stronger than any obstacle we face. Our response to challenges defines us far more than the challenges themselves. In life, every person, regardless of their background, wealth, or circumstances, encounters difficulties. Some struggles are personal, others are professional, and many are emotional or spiritual. However, what separates those who grow stronger from those who falter is not the size or number of their problems, but the attitude they bring to facing them. When adversity strikes, it reveals the true character within us. Some may react with anger, bitterness, or surrender, allowing the challenge to shape their identity in a negative way. Others may respond with courage, patience, and determination, using the challenge as an opportunity to refine themselves. It is not the hardship that leaves a permanent mark, but the choices we make in response to it. We are not victims of circumstance. We are the architects of our own destiny through the way we meet and overcome trials. In times of difficulty, some people discover inner strengths they never knew they possessed. A problem that initially seems insurmountable can become the very catalyst that leads to profound personal growth. Facing challenges with resilience teaches us humility, empathy, and perseverance. It fosters qualities such as discipline, hope, and compassion, qualities that remain with us long after the specific problem has passed. It is important to understand that the challenge itself is neutral. It has no power to destroy or elevate us unless we allow it. What matters is whether we see the problem as a wall blocking our path or as a stepping stone toward a higher goal. Those who choose to confront adversity with determination often find that their lives are not broken by hardships but built by them. Difficulties can sharpen our focus, deepen our wisdom, and strengthen our resolve to live meaningful lives. Moreover, how we respond to challenges can inspire others. When people see someone standing tall in the face of adversity, refusing to give up or give in, it ignites hope in their hearts. It reminds them that they too can endure. Every act of courage in the face of hardship is a beacon for those who may be struggling silently, encouraging them to rise and fight their own battles with dignity. Our response to life's difficulties writes our legacy. It shapes how we are remembered by those who come after us. Will we be remembered as individuals who surrendered to fear and anger, or as those who stood strong, met hardship with grace, and turned challenges into triumphs? Each moment of struggle is a test, and how we choose to meet that test reveals the truth of who we are. Ultimately, the problems we face will pass, but the way we respond to them will stay with us forever. In every challenge lies an opportunity, not just to solve a problem, but to become a better, stronger, and wiser version of ourselves. Obstacles provide opportunities for growth and learning. While many view problems as unfortunate interruptions to an otherwise smooth life, a deeper understanding reveals that they are essential for personal development. Every challenge carries within it the seeds of progress. Without obstacles, there would be little reason to develop new skills, to deepen our understanding, or to strengthen our character. It is through overcoming difficulties that we expand our capabilities and prepare ourselves for greater responsibilities and achievements. When we encounter a problem, it forces us to think differently. It demands that we step outside of our comfort zones and consider solutions we may have never thought of before. This process sharpens our creativity and strengthens our problem-solving abilities. We are often surprised by what we are capable of only when circumstances require us to stretch beyond our previous limits. In this way, problems act as teachers, guiding us to new knowledge and greater resilience. Growth through adversity is not limited to intellectual or practical skills. Emotional and spiritual growth often comes through facing hardship. When we endure suffering, we learn patience. When we confront failure, we learn humility. When we deal with disappointment, we learn perseverance. These lessons are not easily taught in comfort. They are forged in the fires of difficulty. Life's challenges strip away illusions and force us to confront who we truly are. In doing so, they give us the opportunity to rebuild ourselves stronger and wiser than before. Obstacles also teach us the value of effort and persistence. When achievements come easily, they are often taken for granted. However, when success is hard, won through struggle and endurance, it is appreciated much more deeply. We learn to value the journey, not just the destination. Each difficulty we overcome adds to our confidence and strengthens our belief in our own abilities. It reminds us that we are capable of enduring hardship and still moving forward with purpose. Furthermore, obstacles deepen our compassion for others. When we have struggled ourselves, we become more understanding of the struggles others face. We become more patient, more generous, and more willing to lend a helping hand. Through our own challenges, we develop a greater sense of solidarity with those around us, recognizing that no one walks through life without burdens. Ultimately, problems are not barriers meant to stop us. They are stepping stones designed to lift us higher. They force us to adapt, to learn, and to grow in ways that comfort and ease never could. Every obstacle overcome becomes a badge of strength, a testament to our ability to endure and prevail. Life's greatest transformations often begin with a problem that seemed impossible to solve until it was met with courage, wisdom, and a willingness to learn. Courage and resilience are essential to overcoming difficulties. Without these qualities, even the smallest challenges can feel overwhelming, and the path forward can seem impossible to find. Courage is the willingness to face fear, uncertainty, and pain without retreating. It is not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward despite it. Resilience, on the other hand, is the inner strength that allows us to recover after hardship, to rebuild after a fall, and to continue striving toward our goals when circumstances seem to conspire against us. Every individual encounters moments when fear whispers that giving up would be easier than pressing on. It is in these moments that courage must rise. Courage reminds us that fear does not define us. It is the quiet voice that says, "Try again tomorrow," even when today has been filled with failure or disappointment. Courage pushes us to take the next step, even when the road ahead is uncertain and the end is not in sight. It allows us to face the unknown with open hearts and determined minds, trusting that our efforts will lead to something better. Resilience complements courage by providing the ability to endure and to rebuild after hardship. Where courage helps us face the immediate challenge, resilience keeps us moving forward over the long journey. Life's difficulties often do not end quickly. Some struggles take days, months, or even years to overcome. Without resilience, the weight of these extended battles can wear us down, but resilient individuals bend without breaking. They may stumble, they may suffer, but they do not give up. They adjust, heal, and continue forward, carrying with them the wisdom earned through adversity. Together, courage and resilience create a powerful force. Courage ignites the action, and resilience sustains it. This partnership allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary things. History is filled with examples of individuals who succeeded not because they had easier lives, but because they were brave enough to confront hardship and resilient enough to endure the setbacks that followed. They understood that failure is not the end, but a part of the process, a necessary step on the path to growth and success. Developing courage and resilience often begins with small acts. Each time we face a fear, each time we rise after a setback, we strengthen these qualities within ourselves. Over time, we build an unshakable foundation that prepares us for greater challenges. We come to trust our own strength, knowing that no matter what life throws our way, we have the tools to withstand and to triumph. In the end, it is not a life without difficulties that leads to greatness. It is a life in which difficulties are met with courage, endured with resilience, and used as stepping stones toward a better future. When we cultivate these qualities, we not only overcome our current challenges, but also prepare ourselves to meet whatever the future may hold with strength, hope, and unwavering determination. Hope and perseverance will always outlast hardship. In the darkest moments of life, when everything seems to fall apart, and when despair threatens to consume us, it is hope that provides the light to guide us forward. Hope is not merely wishful thinking or blind optimism. It is the deep, unwavering belief that better days are possible, that no matter how painful the present may be, the future holds promise. Perseverance is the steady, relentless effort to move toward that better future, step by step, even when every step feels heavy. Hardships often have the power to shake our confidence and weaken our resolve. They can make us doubt ourselves, our dreams, and even our purpose. Yet, history and personal experience show that the people who survive and thrive through life's storms are not those who never face difficulty, but those who refuse to let difficulty define their destiny. Hope keeps the vision alive even when circumstances offer no evidence of success. It keeps us believing in possibilities, in the power of change, and in the strength hidden within ourselves. Perseverance is the action that hope demands. It is the decision to get up after every fall, to try again after every failure, and to keep walking even when the journey seems endless. Perseverance means enduring discomfort, setbacks, and sacrifices without losing sight of the greater goal. It is a testament to inner strength, showing that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. Together, hope and perseverance form an unstoppable force. Hope lifts our hearts when the burdens of life weigh them down, and perseverance pushes our feet forward when every part of us wants to quit. No hardship, no matter how severe, can last forever in the face of these two forces. History has shown us countless examples of individuals and communities who, through the power of hope and the determination to persevere, overcame oppression, injustice, poverty, and even personal tragedy. Their stories teach us that endurance is not about avoiding hardship, but about outlasting it. It is also important to recognize that hardship often strengthens our hope and perseverance. Each trial we survive builds our confidence that we can survive the next. Each obstacle we overcome renews our belief that we are stronger than we thought. Over time, hope becomes less fragile and perseverance becomes more natural. They become part of who we are, an armor against despair and a compass that points us toward a better future. In the end, hardship is temporary, but the strength built through hope and perseverance endures. No matter how fierce the storm, the sun eventually returns. No matter how deep the night, the dawn always breaks. When we hold tightly to hope and refuse to stop moving forward, we ensure that no difficulty, however overwhelming it may seem, can prevent us from reaching the promise of a new and better day. Unity, strength, and belief in change empower us to transform struggles into triumph. Throughout history, every great movement forward, whether in communities, nations, or individual lives, has been fueled by the power of people coming together with a shared vision and an unshakable belief that a better future is possible. Alone, our efforts may sometimes feel small and fragile. Together, however, we become a force capable of moving mountains. Unity gives us the courage to stand tall even when fear tries to isolate us. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, that others walk the difficult path alongside us, sharing our burdens and our hopes. In unity, we find strength. When one grows weak, another steps forward to support them. When one loses faith, another lends them hope. Through unity, we weave together our individual strengths, creating a bond stronger than any single one of us could forge alone. Strength grows from the roots of unity and shared purpose. It is the ability to endure, to fight for what is right, and to lift each other up in times of hardship. Strength is not measured by the absence of pain, but by the ability to keep going in spite of it. It is the will to hold fast to our principles even when everything around us tries to shake them. True strength is quiet, steady, and enduring, the kind that does not boast, but simply remains, a rock in the raging storm. Belief in change is what transforms effort into victory. Without belief, struggles become unbearable and sacrifices seem meaningless. But when we believe that change is possible, when we can see even a glimpse of the future we are working toward, every hardship becomes a meaningful step forward. Belief gives energy to our actions and purpose to our suffering. It allows us to endure the long nights because we know that morning is coming. When unity, strength, and belief in change come together, no obstacle can permanently stand in our way. Challenges that once seemed impossible are overcome. Walls that once divided us are torn down. Futures that once seemed hopeless are rewritten with hope and determination. These forces give birth to transformation not just in our circumstances, but in ourselves. And so, as we move forward in life, let us always remember, no problem is permanent, no hardship is without end. With unity in our hearts, strength in our spirits, and belief in our future, we can rise above every struggle. We can turn our trials into testimonies and our pains into power. Together, we will continue to march forward, not because the road is easy, but because we are stronger than any road we walk. Our journey is not defined by the obstacles we face, but by the victories we